Hi everyone, this is Scott Bywater, and you might be wondering why I'm wearing this bucket head. I actually got this from the Big Bash cricket game that I went to on Saturday night, and it was actually a terrible game of cricket. But they made, I think Sydney Sixers made 100 runs, and then the Thunder beat them fairly easily. But what I learned from it was actually I had a chat with my son on the way home, and I said, what's your favourite sports to watch? And he said something interesting. He said about the cricket. He said the cricket, it wasn't his favourite sport, but he loved the atmosphere. He loved the energy of the game. And this is a really big lesson for us as business owners and as marketers, because we could have watched easily the cricket at home. We could easily watch it at home, no problem at all. And that would have been something that was very, very easy to do, but we didn't. And the crowd, literally the actual stadium was absolutely packed. So the stadium was packed with tens of thousands of people who could have watched it at home. They could have got the same content at home as they actually got from being live at the Big Bash. So that was the difference. And the lesson here for marketers is essentially to look at how can you create an experience for your customers. So how can you create something so that it's exciting, so that they would pay to actually do business with you? And I think that's a really important question, particularly if you're involved in any sort of content, because content has become somewhat commoditized. But if you can turn what you do into an experience, it can make a big difference. Because really, if we look at, let's say, something like the Big Bash, essentially what you've got is something which nobody used to attend, which is like state cricket, which is now getting crowds of tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Why? Because they've made it, they bring in experience. It's like they've got, people like, SpongeBob SquarePants that are there, for example. They make it, they hype it up, they make it exciting. They give everyone one of these, a bucket head as you walk in, and they turn it into an experience. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, you can get into this experience sort of game. So let's say you're a mechanic. How could you turn what you do into an actual experience? So for example, as a mechanic, you could make it so when people come in, they get a really nice welcome. Maybe they get refreshments when they leave from their car. They get all of these sort of things. Maybe a wet towel as you go. It's spruced up and smells nice when you leave. That's something as simple as a mechanical service. So the question to ask today is, how can we turn what we do into an experience? And if we look at, let's say, there's actually a book called The Experience Economy, and very, very well-written book, and it gives lots of examples of this. If we look at, let's say, something like, you may like to look at, well, how can I change my business? So something like Build-A-Bear, which is, I believe it's a franchise, but it's reasonable size now. They do this perfectly. Essentially what you walk out with, which is you walk out with a teddy bear, but they have a system and have created a business out of turning that into an experience, where they actually build the bear real time, and they turn the building of the bear into an experience. Essentially, you get the same end product. You get a teddy bear at the end of it. That's basically what you end up with. Hey Sean, how are you? Good to connect on here. So you're essentially ending up with a teddy bear, but you're paying a premium for it. And why do you end up paying a premium? The reason you end up paying a premium is because you get an actual experience. You get the experience of actually building that bear and the excitement of building that bear and that sort of thing. So think about how can you do this in your business? How can you turn it into an experience, and something exciting and something which engages people, just like they've done with the Big Bash, and they bring in all this atmosphere and all this fun, and beforehand, you can have catching competitions, and they do all sort of things to engage and involve their customer base, and to make it a lot of fun, which is basically what we're about. So that's all for me today. Thanks for tuning in. Think about how you can turn your business into an experience for your customers, to get an edge. All for now.